All right, moving out of section 5 brings us to section 6. And what we're going to be doing is we're still solving triangles, but now we're going to be figuring out how to solve triangles that are not right triangles. All right, so one of the first tools that we have is our law of sines. And our law of sines state that side A over the sine of angle A equals side B over the sine of angle B, and side C over the sine of angle C. All right, so we're going to be using this tool right here, of course, to find some of our missing sides and angles. So just starting off, we can automatically find C if we just subtract our given angles from 180. So I'm going to subtract 105 minus 105, and I'm going to subtract 33. All from 180, and I end up with 42 degrees. Okay. Now, what we need to do is figure out what side C and what side A is. So we have to look at what we're given. And we're giving here 37.9 is side B. So I'm going to use my law of sines here and set it up. So I have side A, which I don't know what side A is, on top of the sine of angle A, but I have angle A, and angle A is 33 degrees. So I'm going to throw that in, plug it in there. Okay. Now, my next choice of sine is going to be what I have already given to me. I don't know what C is, but I do have angle C, but I have both side B and angle B. So I'm going to use that because I have everything I need in there. I don't have to find anything there. So I can use that as a tool to solve. So side B over sine angle B. Side B is 37.9 over the sine of angle B, and angle B is 105. Okay. Now, in order to solve this, we just have to multiply both sides by this denominator right here. So I'm going to multiply this side by that denominator, and I'm going to multiply this side by that denominator. And we're just doing that in order to cancel these guys out. So I now have a new equation of A equals 37.9 times the sine of 33 over the sine of 105. And what you're going to use is your calculator. Use a calculator for all this. Once you get to this step, you use your calculator. All right. And when we use our calculator and type it all in, we get A equals 21.4. All right. A few things to remember are just pay attention to what side and what angle you're using. Okay. Go ahead and try and find side C. Okay. And I'll put the answer down here after you give it a shot. So if you want, you can hit pause and try and find side C. And I'll go down here. We're going to skip example 2 for right now because we just want to focus on using these tools. But I'll put the answer down here. And C is going to be 26.3. All right, so see if you can find that by using our method here. All right, now let's get into 2 more tools. All right, a little something to make life easier if you want to. Just round everything to the nearest. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, unless the directions state otherwise, just round everything to the nearest tenth. It'll make life easier. Okay. All right, example 3, we're going to be looking at using this area of triangles formulas. Okay. So first step is if you look at one of our angles, you can see that we have this, and we need to convert it. So in section 1, we did this. And what we did was we took this 20 right here and we divided it by 60 because there's 60 seconds. Okay. And we ended up with 1/3, which is also the same as 0.33 repeated. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite 47 degrees 20 seconds by 47.3. All right, so we converted that and just made life a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we kind of did, but we're just going to plug everything in that we have. All right, so they gave us ABC, triangle ABC, and they give us side A, side C, and angle B. All right, so we're going to locate and use the sign right here because they gave us what angle B is. All right, so we're going to do a simple plug-in. So K equals 1/2. If you want to use 0.5 in your calculator, you can. Times AC. So 1/2 times A, which is 4.7. Times C, which is 12.4. Okay. And then sine of angle B, which is 47.3. All right, this whole thing can go in your calculator. Okay, and if you type everything in sequence, just type it in from left to right. Okay, left to right. K is going to equal 21.4. So the area of this triangle is 21.4. All right, and we have one more tool here for our problem solving. And that is, what if they just give you one side and two angles? Then we're going to use this, but this is where it gets tricky. So if you notice here, it says, let ABC be any triangle. Okay, so it's in descending order. All right, so DEF, I'm going to look at DEF as that's A, E is B, F is C. That means that side D is going to be side A, just as if side E would be side B and F is C. We're just substituting in so I can figure this out because I need to know which one of these tools to use. Okay? So because they gave me side D, which is also the same as side A, I'm going to be using this bad boy right here. So I'm going to say K equals 1/2 times A squared. In this case, the D is the A. So I've got 13.9 squared. And then I have a fraction next to that times sine B. And actually, let's just rewrite sine B is also angle E. Okay, so angle E is 14.8. Okay, times sine C. So I've got sine C. C is the same as angle F. And I don't have F. So what I'm going to do is, an old school trick, I'm going to subtract my two angles that I have from 180. So I'm going to subtract 34.4. And I'm going to subtract 14.8. And I end up with 130.8 degrees. Okay, so that's what F is. Now that I have F, I'm going to go in here and plug in F as 130.8. All right, and then to complete my calculator step, I need sine A at the bottom. So the sine of A is D. A and D are the same. And I have 34.4. Now, when you're putting in your sines in the calculator, make sure that you put a closing parenthesis when you're starting your next sign. So these parentheses are vital when we're using our calculator, okay? So make sure that you're getting those parentheses in there. So that's telling the calculator that you have two separate operations up here and then this separate operation right here. So I plug everything into my calculator and I end up with K equals 33.1 as the area of that triangle. Again, so this chapter, this section of this chapter is going to be calculator heavy. Which is a good thing since we're doing our online remote learning. You're going to be relying on your calculator for most of this. The hard part, guys, is just making sure you're picking the right formula to use. What I like to do is I'm going to pretend I'm using A, B, C. So what I do is the triangle they give me, it should be in order D, E, F. Okay? So just substitute A in for the first term, B in for the middle letter, and C in for the second letter. And likewise, your sides correlate with their opposite angle. So if this was a ABC triangle, side A would be opposite of angle A, just like side D is opposite of angle D.